So the relationship between technology and writing is a changing relation. It is not fixed. For example, in the beginning of call, I mean, the new or the invention of new digital technology are expected to devaluing writing, to take the value of writing out. People thought that using of keyboard, for example, and technology in general is not good for the teaching of writing. But later, people and researchers understand that it is important, it is effective, and it is advantage to use computer to teach and research, to teach writing, I mean, and make research about them. Okay, there are two ways of, or there are two aspects of this advantage of the benefits of writing to, of computer, I'm sorry, to writing. And we are going to take them: word processors and social media, okay? So word processors and social media are two forms of how technology reinforces writing learning and writing teaching, to teach writing and to learn about writing. So when we talk about Microsoft Word, for example, we are not going to talk about it from a technical point of view, okay? But we are going to talk about it to answer the question how teachers and students can use this software so as to reinforce and develop writing. And also social media. When we talk about social media, in fact, we are talking about how they will improve writing. Okay, excuse me for seconds. So if I ask anyone, any common person, about word processors or social media, he may be very good at using word processors and social media, right? Because they are not tough software or application. But we just want to investigate how can we use these softwares and applications to develop our learning of writing. Got the idea? Hello? So when we talk about word processors, we are not talking about how to use them. We are talking about how we can benefit from them in teaching of learning and teaching and learning of writing, okay? Now, first, regarding word processors like Microsoft Word, these four factors or these four things are the most benefits that we get from using word processors for teaching and for learning of writing. It emphasizes creation, revision, reusability, and the result of this will be motivation. By creation, we mean that word processors make students more creative. They can use many resources. They can format the writing in many attractive ways. They can use fonts or types of fonts. They can use, for example, graphics. They can use many sources so as to be more creative. Also, word processors give teachers and students a great opportunity to revise, not by just using a pen and a paper like the classic way, but there are some tools which are built in word processors that make reviewing or revision easier and more effective. The third one is reusability. Now you can design or write or type a file by using Microsoft Word for this semester, and you can use it many times for next semester, next semesters even, And also you can send them to other teachers so as to use them again. And you can use them with many sections if you are a teacher and you teach more than one class and so. So by reusability, we mean it is easier now to use again files that are typed with computer. But can we do that by using just pens and paper? No, it is a bit difficult because it can, if you write by just using a paper and a pen, the both the process of or processes of revision and reusability will not be available. You cannot revise a list by using a pen and taking crossouts and checking like this, and also you cannot use it again in other situation. Okay, do you understand this? So when we use word processors, we reinforce creation, revision, reusability, and the result for this will be more motivation for both teachers and learners. Got it? In the coming slides, I'm going to show you some aspects of Word that you may or may not be familiar with. The important thing is that I want you to remember these three things are for the use of teachers and students. Remember that we are not giving a class in computer skills, okay? We are using computer apps so as to reinforce learning, to assist learning of English language. So these are the three features which are commonly used by teachers and students so as to promote writing. I want you to follow me carefully because there will be a project on Blackboard where I will ask you to apply these three features in a Word file, a short Word file, maybe 6 or 7 lines, and we are going to discuss it in a forum in Blackboard, and I will show you how, okay? We are going to practice these three features of Word in our practical classes. So word processors has the ability to improve writing through the following features. The first one is a spell and grammar checker. The second one is comments. And the third one is track changes. Okay? Okay, are these features familiar? Do you use this feature in Microsoft Word, for example, 2007? Yeah, spell and grammar checker. This is very common. What about comments? That's good. And track changes. Okay. Now we are going to have general idea about spell and grammar checker, about comments, about track changes. Tomorrow, inshallah, you are going to practice them, and next week, inshallah, we are going to apply them on Blackboard, okay? Okay. The first thing, which is very easy, I think, is a spell and grammar checker, which is used by both teachers and students so as to check the writing. We know that when we use this feature, we are completely sure about, yeah, maybe not completely, but we are nearly sure about the quality of our writing, especially in the spelling side. Maybe there are some small problems in grammar, but our spelling will be perfect. So it is a good feature. Why? Because it is economic and accurate. Economic because it consumes no much time. If you want, for example, to be sure of a spelling of a word, you may refer to your dictionary or the internet or something like that. But here, you cannot waste time because there you will find many options for the correct option that you may use. And also it is accurate because it depends completely on artificial intelligence which will give you the options which are near to the word that you insert. So if you insert, for example, a word with Mrs. Bell in one letter or two, maybe 95% the device or the computer will give you the correct option. But when you use a grammar checker, you should be aware that for nouns, for proper nouns, for words which are not common in English, there may be some problems for terminologies, scientific terminologies. For example, if you write Riyadh, it may be okay because it is the capital of Saudi Arabia. But if you write Houtat Bani Tamim, will, for example, Microsoft Word accept it as the correct word? No. So there is a feature that you can add it to your dictionary, so in the future the application will consider it correct, okay? Yes. And also when we use scientific terminologies, whether medical, for example, or psychological, or also this will not be accepted as correct. But if you add them for one time, this will be okay. Now, someone may say, why we are talking about this? There is no learning here. But, in fact, there is learning. There is learning by what? When students use grammar checkers repeatedly, or spell checkers repeatedly, what is the final result? The final result is that they will learn the correct spelling of the word. Okay? For example, there are some words which make some problems, like words that include I and E, like believe and receive. Okay? Some people may find some problem how to write them. Is it I before E or E before I or something like that? Some words with OU also. They may make some problem. And shin, is it TION or SION or CION or? So when you use computer to write many times and to check the spelling, the final result will certainly be that you will be aware of what? Of the correct spelling. Got that? Also, another caution that you may take into your mind is that you should have an idea about British and American English. Because, you know, there are some few spelling differences between American and British English. Can you give me example? Sorry? Color, like OU and OR. Okay? Center, TRE or TER. Yeah. So, if, for example, you take the default, what's the meaning of default? Iftiradi, okay? Yes. So if you take the default setting of word processors, the language which come with Microsoft Word by default is American English. So if you want to run it by British English, you can just change the setting so as to avoid spell checker to catch words like color OU or center TRE to catch them as mistakes. Inshallah, in the practical class, you are going to practice this, okay? Okay. The second feature is comment. And comment is a revision feature that is used by teachers to comment on a student's writing on the same document. The scenario is like this. You, as a student, send a file by email or by LMS like Blackboard. So the teacher will not print out your file. He will just comment on the same file to show you maybe your mistakes, maybe the things that you want to improve, and maybe a missing box you have to fill in or something like that. So all the comments looks like this, in a different color with the name of the person who comment. Of course, the name should be registered in the setting of the office. So it will be like this. This is the comment, and I will show you, inshallah, example by the end of this lecture if we find time. It provides effective feedback that can be accepted or rejected, and the file can be edited accordingly. So you can, after the comment process, you can receive the file again and change it according to the comment, or you can reject them if it is between you as students, for example. Also, you can, as students, for example, if I ask you to write research and you are 4 students, you can make a file like this and send it to each other, and you can comment on this file to discuss everything in the file. Within the file, you need not, or you do not need to print out the file and write by pen, or open a new document, a Word document, I mean, a new file on computer, and comment on it. Everything is done on the file itself. Do you understand this? Okay. And again, inshallah, tomorrow you are going to have a practical class, and this will be a good opportunity to see the comment and how it works and apply it, because I will ask you to do so. The last feature is track change, and it is a very good reviewing feature. It can be used by both teachers and students. This is a picture, or this is a screenshot of a file, a Word file with track change. Okay? Are you following? Yeah. So, instead of just writing the mistakes, you can edit. You as a teacher, you can edit these changes. Okay? You can edit, for example, capital letters to small, as you see here. Okay? We can see this. And this one. And you can delete, like here. You can add also like there. So all these colored words are inserted by teacher, or inserted by the person who review the document. By the way, this is very good for translation. It is not just for writing. You as a translator, you may translate a file and send it for review or for revision. So you can make track change, this one here. See? You can make track change active like this. So everything that is made by, or that is made, by the reviewer will be clear. For example, here millions and visions. So here the reviewer insert the word in blue here, millions. And also there is addition here, and there is deletion here, and everything will be available to see in this side. It is called track change. And you as a student, after you receive the file, you can click here on an accept, and you can accept all the changes that made by your teacher or by your reviewer. Okay? So in this case, the student make the file. The students make files and send them to teachers so as to review. But we can converse the process. How is that? We can, for example, we as teachers, we can write, say, for example, a paragraph or 2 paragraphs about grammar, and make this grammar full of mistakes. And we want students to judge the grammaticality of this passage. So we ask students to underline the mistakes, the grammatical mistakes, and correct them. So we use the feature of track change so as to be sure of all the changes that are made by our students. Do you understand me? Okay, I will stop here for a while to show you some examples.